So, Pokemon Sword and Shield recently announced that they're going to have expansions. And if you remember gaming back in the day, there used to be these things called expansions where they would simply add more to the story, they would add more to the map, or an entirely new map. And it seems like this is the case. Um, the problem that I'm seeing though is that a lot of people are starting to equate Game Freak with companies like EA or like Capcom, and I can't stand this. I can't sit by and just be like, oh yeah, they're equal. No. Okay, look. Capcom is has just recently been currying favor with their fans because they released Resident Evil 2 remake, and it was liked by everybody, but people seem to forget that they completely ruined the franchise beforehand. But either way, they're making Resident Evil 3 remake again, just like Resident Evil remake 2, and people are somehow, for whatever reason, forgiving Capcom, even though it's just like, remember they ran that series into the ground. Remember how they have horrible pricing on all their DLC? And for people to compare Game Freak to EA, who has been voted the worst company, really? One expansion pass and suddenly, oh, they're worse. They're the absolute worst company I've ever seen. How dare they make me pay for more of the game that I like? Like, okay, look, I companies need to make money. All right, that much is a given. But at least the expansion pass is not a full $60. At least there isn't loot boxes in Pokemon yet. Yes, maybe the pricing could be a little better, but here's the thing though. Because I sort of agree $15 seems like a lot. I better be getting at least, I want to say like 8 hours worth of content. I would like a full 15, but even Pokemon Sword and Shield didn't have 60 hours worth of content. It's a $60 game. It's a huge change because remember, Pokemon was not always a $60 game. But either way, we have the two expansion passes, the Isle of Armor and the Crown Tundra, and these are coming June and fall. And the Isle of Armor seems like it will have at least a decent amount of content from what we've seen. Again, these are all just concept art. There's like very early footage, it looks like, or maybe not early, but very beta footage, I guess you could say. It doesn't look like it's completely done yet, but they're adding a lot more than just these expansion passes. They're also adding updates to allow other Pokemon, like I guess your national decks for all those of you who care, to finally come into the fray. It looks like they're also adding a new legendary. They're adding some Dynamax forms, or not, is it Dynamax? Gigantamax? Dynamax forms. And they're adding new Galar versions of former Pokemon. Hence, there was a small little update where they added the chance to meet your new rival and to catch a Galarian Slowpoke. And it's cute. I don't know. It's a cute little Slowpoke. I love Slowpoke. He has a adorable little face. Stop hitting his tail though, Team Rocket. What are you doing? Either way, I like these ideas of expansions because this is sort of what gaming used to be. Gaming used to be that you would play a game, you would get, your experience from it, and then the developers would be like, hey, we want to add more to this game. So here's a new map that we created, and, give us DLC money, and we'll give you the DLC. And it's not, at least it's not like Game Freak decided that like they're going to add a random Pokeball, right? That is a loot crate. And if you want the former Pokemon in the national decks, you have to buy this Pokeball, they call it like a mystery ball. Buy this mystery ball and you'll get a random Pokemon from another generation. Like, at least they're not doing that. I'm grateful that they're not doing that. They haven't stooped that low. I honestly don't understand I don't want to say hatred, but sort of like the dislike towards the expansion. There's a lot of people saying that it should have been in the base game. A lot of people saying that this is them being greedy and ungrateful towards the fans. I don't know, from my perspective, again, this is all just my perspective, my views, whatever you want to call it. Um, this is a perfect way to gauge player engagement. That was redundant. Either way, you have all the people who have bought the base game, and it was a lot of people. For people saying that it was a failure, nah, it was not a failure. Um, but DLC has considerably less downloads than the base game. Most people have either moved on, don't want to buy it, or will forget about it. So it's going to be a way to see if there's still interest in this game. I think that perhaps Pokemon Sword and Shield will finally become what people have wanted in an essence. People have wanted just like one base Pokemon game, and then you add islands onto the game. Granted, people wanted other generations, but in this case, it seems like they're creating whole new environments, and they're adding a co-op mode, which seems pretty cool. Um, I think this might actually start becoming like the next few steps to becoming sort of like a Pokemon MMO light. I don't necessarily think they're going to go full MMO. It could be like light MMO, where eventually there's an online only game that we buy, and it has the national dex or whatever. It has a new map, a new region, and or maybe it has all the regions. And you just go around with a few friends, you catch Pokemon, you battle in raids. They probably, I mean, hey, it's like Pokemon Go, right? But on an actual console. It could be the first few steps towards that. I'm hopeful. Um, I think these expansions will do fine. I don't think they'll do amazing. At least they're not doing the Ultra Moon or Platinum route where they re-release the game a year later and are like, hey, here's a bunch of content that was missing and enjoy it for another $60. Give us more $60. Like that, I feel was a bit much. With Ultra Sun and Moon though, it was even worse. Like that one barely had any changes and was relatively horrible. I'm pretty sure it did bad in sales too, but I'm not gonna look it up. Pokemon experts tell me. Either way, I'm looking forward to the expansion passes, and I look. If you like the thing that you like, if you like Pokemon or if you like anything in general, always support it. Always support what you like in any way you can, whether it be playing it, whether it be watching it, whether it be, giving to the person who has created it, I guess you could say, if they have a means of you tipping them, I guess you could say. And I enjoy Pokemon, so I'm going to buy this because I like Pokemon and I want Pokemon to survive. I don't want it to die. Granted, it's not going to die. I know it's not. But I want them to feel as though that they should be taking risks, that they should be adding to games, and they should be trying new things. Because it seems like that's what they're trying to do. And I'm hopeful for the future that this will help motivate the team to expand and just become better than what they are right now. Not to say that what they are right now is bad. It's just they're stuck in a sort of like funk because the online reception of Sword and Shield was very bad, but the sales say otherwise. So